first evening at Whitehouse Whitetails, we were in the blind with Mark. And we no more than got in the blind and we had a big mainframe 9-point walk out right behind a tree. And I mean, he stayed there for hours. We had does come in right in front of him and he would not budge. And we seen probably 45 does come into that feeder while he just stood back and watched. And while he was standing behind the tree, no more we look in the woods, and here comes another big Brutus buck trying to walk out of the timber. And while this buck is working his way out of the timber, Mark is still watching that big mainframe 9-point standing right behind that tree. He was never offered a shot with the 9-point or the big wide buck that was working out of the timber.
Oh, Pete, when I was down here working, he really treated us good.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah.
Made sure we were stuffed, and he bought beer and pop, and I'm not much of a beer drinker.
Yeah.
I used to be.
That's good.
Out walks his big mainframe 10-point, and although Mark didn't pull the trigger, Jesse, that was in camp with Mark, was able to harvest this beautiful buck. Well, after the big typical 10-point walkthrough, we pretty much lost camera light, but out walked a big 16-point and Mark was able to harvest that buck. It was a beautiful buck, and congratulations, Mark. The next evening, we were heading in the blind with Wayne. He was hunting in the same tower blind that Jim had shot his buck that same morning. We get settled in the blind, and it don't take long before does start making their way in. A couple hours into the hunt, Wayne looks over, and we got a big old buck coming in. After watching the buck for a while, we finally realized that there is another big buck right behind it. After several minutes of watching the buck, it finally presents Wayne with a good shot. Wayne put a good shot on the buck, and he only ran a little ways.
Oh, yeah. What do you think? Look at that boy. Hold him up.
Congrats, Wayne, with a beautiful buck and another successful weekend here at Whitehouse Whitetails.